Hey everyone, DylanBandicoot here. The Zelda franchise is all about adventuring, but sometimes you may stumble upon a minigame. Most of them are alright, and they may even give you some pretty good rewards. However, in this video I will take a look at what I think the top 5 worst minigames in the Zelda franchise are.
In Skyward Sword, there is a character named Fletch. He's a wimp. Or at least, he used to be a wimp until Link gave him 2 stamina potions so he can train harder and become stronger. Eventually, he becomes so strong that he likes to train by throwing pumpkins. After Fletch notices that Link has a bow, he suggests Link to shoot pumpkins after he throws them, leading to one of the most infuriating minigames in Zelda history. Aiming for these pumpkins is a nightmare and feels almost impossible at first. What makes this minigame even worse is that you need 600 points to get a piece of heart. And the best way to earn as many points as possible within the time limit is to never miss a pumpkin, because every single time you hit a pumpkin in a row without missing, you get extra points. The best way to play this minigame is to constantly aim near Fletch, and the moment he starts throwing, you have to shoot immediately. This minigame was already difficult on the Wii, but the Switch version is 100 times worse because the motion controls keep drifting because the Switch doesn't have a sensor bar like the Wii in order to keep the motion controls more accurate. And no, switching to button controls does not help, because the button controls are too slow for this minigame, making it impossible for me to aim and shoot at these stupid pumpkins. Do you really want to know how I managed to beat this minigame in the Switch version? Do you really want to know? Like this. That's right, the only way I was able to do this on the Switch was by playing in tabletop mode while trying to keep my right Joy-Con as steady as possible by playing in this awkward position.
Thanks, Nintendo!
Now if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go practice my shooting on Fletch himself. Die! Oh. In Majora's Mask, there are these 2 farmers who call themselves the Gorman Brothers. If you talk to them while riding Epona, they will call her pathetic. For 10 rupees you can challenge them to a race. And boy, is this race unfair. Not only are these guys ridiculously fast, but they also abuse their horses. Just look at how they're spanking those poor things. Link can only gallop Epona 6 times before he has to wait for a recharge, because Link is a good boy who doesn't abuse horses. But these brothers, oh dear, they keep spanking those horses like their life depends on it. Seriously, what is wrong with these guys? Of course those horses are fast if you keep abusing them like that. This is just an unfair race that makes me want to pull my hair out every single time I play it. This is so difficult no matter how much I practice. And you know what the worst part of this minigame is? You need to win this minigame in order to progress the story, because the reward is an important mask. Why? Why of all minigames in Majora's Mask is this the one you have to win to beat the main game? Gorman Brothers. More like Gorman Losers. Yeah, that'll teach them. Next up is a minigame from Wind Waker. And no, it's not this minigame.
Splish!
Although I can see why you will think I will include this one. After all, it's random. But no. Today we are looking at an entirely different minigame from Wind Waker. If you feed a fishman on an island where you've already fed one before after obtaining the bow, you can play target practice. In target practice, you get 10 arrows to shoot at the fishman. And yeah, that's what you have to do. Shoot the fishman. And yeah, this was his idea. He wants you to shoot at him. Okay. Hey, small fry! Wanna shoot me with some arrows? I promise it won't hurt me! Gee, talk about a sadistic little fish. The reason I hate this minigame so much is because I'm never able to hit him more than once or twice per game. It's just too difficult for me. Luckily though, you don't have to play this minigame for 100% completion, because all you get is rupees from this minigame. So that's nice at least. Oh, and if you manage to actually hit the fishman with an arrow, then all the arrows you shot at him will stick to his body, and it kinda looks hilarious, I gotta admit. But seriously, what are these fish? Bulletproof? I mean arrow-proof? Sometimes I have these fever dreams. I'm just standing there, minding my own business, while all of a sudden, a bunch of cuckoos fly at me. The worst part? They won't go away unless I avoid them for 999 seconds.
It was just a dream. It was just a dream. It was just a dream.
In A Link Between Worlds, there's a cuckoo ranch. The lady that takes care of the cuckoos has a game set up where you have to avoid the cuckoos in 3 difficulties: easy, normal, and hard. This isn't so bad at first. In fact, it's not that hard at all until you beat the hard difficulty and unlock Endless mode. At first I thought this was just a test of skill that never ends and that there was no reward for playing this minigame. However, apparently Endless mode is not as endless as you think. If you somehow manage to survive Endless mode for 999.99 seconds, the game will end and you will be rewarded with a golden cuckoo that can fill up your hearts. Yes, I know that this is a very useless reward and that I'm not missing out by not being able to get it. But as a person who likes to 100% complete games, especially Zelda games, I feel really bad for never being able to get this. This is the only thing I have left to do in this game before achieving 100% completion, but it's just too difficult. There's not many people out there who have managed to survive Endless mode for 999.99 seconds. So at least that makes me feel a little better, but still, this is so annoying. And speaking of annoying...
Hey kids, wanna play some roll goal?
In Twilight Princess there is a fishing pond. If you go inside the house of this girl named Hina and try not to upset her and get kicked out, you can play roll goal by going into first person mode and looking at this cute looking little game. However, this game is not cute at all. This is the most terrifying game I have ever played and it gives me PTSD. You roll the ball to the end of a level without dropping it within a time limit. But listen, roll goal only has 8 levels. After beating the 8 levels, you are rewarded with the frog lure. Okay, that's not so bad, only 8 levels. However, it turns out that there are 8 different versions of all 8 levels, meaning that you have to play 64 of these stupid recycled levels. Every single new version of a level is harder than the previous version because you get 20 seconds less time to get that stupid ball to the end without dropping it. Like, how am I supposed to be slow and steady with the time limit that gets tighter and tighter the more I play these levels? Oh, don't give me any of that oopsie daisy crap, Hina! Hey, wanna see a trick shot? Here it comes! What do you mean I cheated? I was playing like a pro! And what do you get for beating all 64 levels? A full wallet. That's it. Oh, and you get a level select and you can play for free. Yoo-hoo, more roll goal for me. Not. And yes, I did all of these levels in one single afternoon in 2016 when Twilight Princess HD just released. I forced myself to not enter the final dungeon until I did this. And you know what's even worse? I did the exact same thing all over again in hero mode. Because that's how much I love Twilight Princess. And yes, that means that I actually played 128 roll goal levels. You know, I really hope Twilight Princess HD gets a Switch port someday. But I also really dread the day that it might happen, because I will definitely force myself to play all of these 128 effing roll goal levels all over again, just for completionist's sake. I really hate myself sometimes for the things I force myself to do.
Well, now that was an interesting ride, now was it? If you'll excuse me, I'm gonna roll out of here while avoiding chickens and while shooting all of the pumpkins and fish that come into my way. See you next time! And don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. And don't forget to click the notification bell as well to stay tuned for more updates on Zelda Month, because I have one more video planned for this month. Hopefully see you then. Bye!